For every human being have their own creative skills. It could be art, it could be sport, there are so many. In this given opportunity, I would like to share mine. Hello everyone, my name is Ruby Gracia Sanjaya and I am a student in Universitas Ciputra. I am currently taking the major of IBM IC and my student number is 101-60225-10045. Okay, so one of my creative skills is actually creative writing. I've always enjoyed to read fantasy books since I was little. So at some point of my life, I decided to try to write a novel. I've read short stories before, fantasy stories, and there's this one point in my high school where I decided to write a novel. I still remember it's called The Lost Iris. It's basically about this one girl who's trying to save her kingdom because it's sort of cursed. Like I said, I adore fantasy, but as I write, I face a lot of writer's block, and then I have to stop at some point because I got busy with school. But either way, here are some of the results of my creative writing. The second one is that I actually really love cooking. It's kind of been a little habit of mine since I was little. Back in elementary school, I always thought that I was going to be a chef. I drew in that little paper that what's your hobby, what's your dream. I always drew myself as a chef, but that was before I decided to learn business and wanted to become an entrepreneur instead. Since I live alone right now and I decided that cooking actually saves you a lot of money, and that's why I adore cooking. So you can see some of the results. Next creative skill is that I really love debate. Since like 3 years ago, I've always drowned myself in debate competitions, championships since I was just a freshman. And I start to learn the progress, how to arrange arguments, how to do rebuttals here and there. And right now in university, I joined UKM UCDS, which is also a debate championship. And I really hope that I can cope well and improve my skills even further. Here is some of the proof. Well, when we're talking about entrepreneurship, there is so many fields that you want to get into. There are small businesses, big businesses, small companies, big companies, online, e-commerce, and so many more. In my case, I'm actually quite interested in studying the art of international markets. Somehow, I've always enjoyed how to trade, how to sell services or goods throughout internationally. So not only it's only one company to another, but actually across countries. And I know it's quite hard and difficult, but actually being an international trade representative could be very good for me, because I learned about myself is that I'm quite an introvert back then, and I'm trying to socialize with one another. I'm trying to make connections, I'm trying to make friends, and what good jobs are there than to make friends with people outside, or how to make connections with people outside, because I think that could be very beneficial and I could learn so much in the process. And at the moment it's quite out of my league, but I hope that after I graduate that I can try to figure out my way how to get internship somewhere abroad, and how it can lead me to an international market one day. Maybe it could be related to my role model, because as maybe you have known that I'm an only child and I've always been independent, and I'm trying to be more independent each and every day, trying to depend on me in handling me. And I really hope that one day I can be just like Chantal Laura, because she's such an independent woman. When she is very smart, she can handle all her studies on difficult universities, so many projects. She have like around 4 to 5 businesses in a talk show back then, and she can handle everything well together. Of course there's some chaos and some troubles, but at the end of the day she's still very good, and she can handle everything well with her team. And how to actually work with one another is very important in an entrepreneurship. When we're talking about entrepreneur, I think I'm gonna stick with entrepreneur, because I'm not really creative, to be honest. I don't have a lot of ideas, and I think I'm just gonna stick with the one that already exists, trying to sell goods, how to make people actually want them without any new innovation. I think that's a very good challenge as well. Well, next is that about the gaps learning, I think my part is quite in the business entrepreneurship, not really social or anything else, or government. Maybe it could be related to government as well, but I haven't really figured out that part yet. So it's either government or business. The values that I want to create is maybe to create more connections, to be more independent, to be more kind to each other, because sometimes I can find myself a bit rude and I don't like that very much about me. And I would like to have and gain more connections and trying to find a topic one to another, have more friends. I think that would be so much fun. And other than that, the unusual action that I've made for the past 2 weeks at school, at university, is that I actually have so much friends right now. I have new connections, I have new friends. I'm really proud of myself, and I really hope that one day that my skill can bring out something better to my entrepreneurship world. Thank you.